Welcome back to the stream. I did it again with the mute. My name is Jeff Fritz. It is Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. And we're back from a long weekend. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going with my Flyers hat, my Philadelphia Flyers hat today. I stayed up last night and I watched the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? Last night was game one of the 2018 Stanley Cup finals, right? The National Hockey League here in the States and Canada. And it's the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Washington Capitals. And as a Flyers fan, I'm not too thrilled with the Capitals, who play in our division, making it to the finals. And I'd love to see Vegas win. So we're going to be pulling for Vegas this week. Good morning, Haxified, Nightbeat, Sinclairinator, good to see you. Mr. Docker Hacker, let me tell you how much I am less than thrilled with Docker this morning. Docker has just been, it continues to be a pain point for me. It's supposed to make things a lot easier, but on Windows, the reliability of it on the workstation has been dreadful. How am I feeling? I'm still. So the quick update on that. Let me finish first. So the hat, I'm wearing my Flyers hat because I'm pulling for the Vegas Knights. I don't have a Vegas hat yet. I need to figure out where I can get a Vegas hat, and we can get that wired up here. Yeah, I want to see those Washington Capitals lose in the finals. They deserve to suffer a little bit more. All right, let's go to some music to code by today. I'm gonna set up. Let's play Orange today. Right there it goes. All right. So in the background, this is music to code by. This is music that's designed to get us in the flow, get us in the groove, so we can focus on things like coding better. Thank you for the host, Dev Chatter. I appreciate that, and it looks like our friend Fierce Kittens is hosting as well. Thank you for sending over those folks. So, so this is music, like I said, scientifically designed to help you get in the groove, get focused. You can ask the chat bot about it, and it'll tell you a little bit more about where you can get your hands on music to code by from our friend Carl Franklin. Vegas strong, absolutely, Janesco. That's one of the things they're touting, and doing a pretty good job with it, getting into the finals, and they won last night against Washington. So that's the story there. Now where was it? To Mordecai's question. You've seen me on stream for the past 6 months, since we started streaming. I've been coughing and I've been having a bit of an issue. I've been seeing the doctors for it, and there's a process that we must go through with the insurance before they'll do anything about it. It took me a month to get into a specialist. It took me a month to get from the specialist, month and a half to get from the specialist to the hospital and actually have them start taking some pictures. And I've got another month I need to wait to find out the results of those pictures. But the gist of it is that I am not sleeping well. I'm up. I wake up several times at night because I can't breathe. The initial diagnosis is that I've got a 95% blockage in my sinuses because I have a deviated septum. My nose is not structured properly. So I literally welcome to the U.S. I literally, if I sleep on the wrong side, I stop breathing. And I've taken a sleep study, and they've deemed it inconclusive. And they won't do anything about it until they go through whatever the next set of steps and thousands of dollars in not just my insurance, but me paying to figure out exactly what's wrong. Yes, inconclusive until they get that trip to Pebble Beach paid off. So, Titan Gamer, Blackhawks fan rooting for the Knights. Hey, all right, there you go. Nope, nothing changed, nothing new here. We're so many tests, so many questions. Yep, and I'm not going to get answers until closer to July. And even then, once they have those answers, it'll be another month or two before we do anything about it, and that puts me right in the middle of Ignite. We're not going to do that during Ignite, so that puts me into October. So I'm looking at least another 5 months of not really sleeping well and dealing with this. So that's the story here. That's the American medical system and insurance system at its best. And I'm not going El Cheapo on any of this stuff that I'm going through right now. I'm not trying to mess with it, but that's the way that the medical system in my area works. But enough about that. There's plenty of coffee to go around and keep me awake and keep me going here. And I'm here because I enjoy doing this. I love coding with you, working together with you, and building cool stuff. In terms of having you sleep in certain positions, have you tried sleep pillows or something to keep you propped in a position where you sleep and breathe? I've been sleeping on a recliner for the past month and a half. I haven't slept in a bed since build. And that was a problem because I woke up literally choking in my sleep. So I'm working on it. All right. It is, of course, it's still May. We've got 2 more days in May here, and we're going to continue with May is for Max on the stream. And I want to go over and review some of the cool things that I've seen pull request wise. Some folks took advantage of their American friends here being away yesterday and put in a couple of pull requests. 2 more days, 3 days, counting 2 more streams today and Thursday. And yes, I was fighting with Docker this morning. So hello there, Avandro. So I did download. I forget who recommended it last time, but I did download the line from Taken, and I cut it to this. Wow, that's quiet. Hang on. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. See, now that makes sense when talking about me, right? Let me pump up the volume on that a little bit. I made that too quiet. Still quiet. Yeah, let me see. Is that better? But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Okay, so I think that's cut a little bit better. Is that better now? All right. And I've been purposely keeping the music a little bit quieter. All right. But this is the full track. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. That's how I felt about Docker this morning. Yes. So, but I think the cut down version is a little bit better. Cutting at I've learned a particular set of skills. So anyways, but I've downloaded and I've punched up a bunch of other sound effects that I've got out here. But I want to get to, talking about the code that you've written that folks have contributed out there. And I went and I forget his name. Oh my gosh, he's the kid that was in Holes, copyright strike coming. No. I've got this. Do it! All right already. I'm not playing music. We're okay there. All right. Besides, I've been able to avoid the copyright strikes All right, let's go over to our code. And I want to talk about, there's 6 pull requests for the core wiki. This is huge. Thank you so much to everybody who's been working and putting together these pull requests for core wiki. This is a lot, and I want to make sure that we go through a review and celebrate what you've been able to contribute to the project here. All right. How's the music now? Absolutely, we're going to clap for them. That's better. How's the music now? Let me know. I can bump that up a little bit more. So there's 6 pull requests out here. Let's take a look at what's going on over here on Core Wiki, because where I want to spend the day today is over in Stream Tools, working on SignalR. So let's take a look down here. Now, Pete, you're going to give me 2 pull requests of tabs versus spaces. Pete. All right. Let's take a look at what's going on here. And they were opened a day ago. Some indenting weirdness happening in Startup CS, specifically with the methods in static HTTP context extensions. So this was a file that was committed and added as part of, I forget which pull request. So I ran an auto formatting tool. Okay, first off, if you're doing a pull request where you've run auto formatting, this is okay. All right. Change editor config indenting rules. Okay, what are you doing? No. Sorry. Doing that, you're asking me to reject. You've literally we use tabs in this project, and I do not appreciate changing our editor config to spaces and changing the size of the format. Is that Biaco? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Yeah. No. And I appreciate your interest in this project. However, please do not change our editor config to spaces and changing the size of the formats. This is our preferred format for this project. Declined. The editor config is different in some branches. Dark Jeepers, thank you for the follow. It looks like we're about to get another one here from Stone Ranger. Thank you for the follow. Steve, you've been pretty busy here this morning. Steve. And also is one key press. Exactly. So I appreciate what he's trying to do here, but come on. Remove use of tabs in a file that's indented with spaces. Give me a reason here. Has some tabs for indent, while the majority of the indenting in the file is spaces. Yeah. I get it. Agreed 1 is currently in project versions. Alright, we'll take a look at that. So what's he doing? What did he change? Literally removing the spaces from the file. The idea that people can have their own tab width does not work at all. Try doing it to Jeff's projects, and everything looks like a mess. Yeah, I appreciate the I appreciate the follow-up here, Smab. Tabs versus spaces was discussed on stream. The decision was made to use tabs. The latest version of the file specifies just tabs, not the indent size. However, this file is only on the project versions and ratings branch and hasn't been merged. I will update the editor config across all branches. All right. Let me let's take care of this issue with the editor config. And it's in which branch did you say? It was in the project versions and ratings. Let's take a look at that one. All right, different project. So let's go back over to CoreWiki. Oh, sure. Figure that out later. It's not different. The other has an indent size. Yeah. Let's see. Editor config. Where'd it go? I thought there was an editor config here somewhere. Right? I thought there was a dot editor. I don't even see dot editor config here. Can hear the music now. Thank you, President Not Sure. I'm in the dev branch. And I don't have an editor config. What was it? Project, versions, and ratings? That's not how you spell that. I still don't see it. Shh, go away. Is it down inside of CoreWiki? No. Is it? Oh, there it is. All right. Let's go back over here. Oh, you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ugh. Yeah, the only difference is the indent size is here inside of dev. I mean, I'll just yank it, right? Removed indent size. Cool. That should be easy, right? There we go. Hey, Welsh Ronaldo, good to see you. Let's see here. All right, so now we should have an updated editor config in the CoreWiki project that's indent style, and it doesn't have an indent size. Good, and that's on dev. All right. So I'm happier with that now. Hello, Neo. Is that NeoGetta? Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But welcome to the stream. So these two were kind of holding on. Anything new here on the update for README? Yeah. So I think we want to move that out. Oh, good. All right. Work in progress on this import of Markdown files. So let's take a look at this. So this is Nemanja. I hope I'm pronouncing that. All right. What's it say? Open this pull request, their first in CoreWiki. Welcome. You know, that's great. It's you, Coderns. That's okay. All right, here we go. This PR is to implement number 34. 34 is import file on creating or editing. So we have this wiki project that we're working on, and the idea that we have here is while you're creating wiki articles, it would be nice to be able to import a markdown file or to load one from externally. So let's take a look-see. If it's a big file is uploaded, part of the text is not visible until you click inside the field. Should multiple file upload be supported? And it looks like Avandro wrote back, any text file should be allowed. Yeah, I think that's fair. Should multiple file upload be supported? I think one to start is probably good. And if a big file is uploaded, in my view, this is a characteristic of the Markdown component. Look into the CSS styling issue, but other than that, we should be good to go. Well, let's take a look. Let's see where you are so far, and we can figure out what we want to do here. So this is being merged into the dev branch. So I'm going to use the command line so that I can grab just these changes and merge them and see where we are. So I will paste in those two commands. Ugh. Yeah. Whatever. Alright, so it's merged. And now I should be able to view what this looks like here with a simple... I need to be in the right folder. Let's do a .NET run. Let's turn on this light so I don't look completely in the dark. How's that? Is that a little bit better? No problem, Coderns. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Yeah. Alright, there's our website, so I'm going to copy that link back to Firefox. Let's see what we got. Now it's going to fail. No, it's not going to fail. Look, see, it's working just fine. Alright, there's my home page, first article, and home page. If I click into first article, yay, first article. Now, how do I upload content? I'm going to click edit. Yep, poof. Okay. Alright. Let's figure out why we got an empty page. I got a 404 on that edit click. We're looking for slug and not ID. Yeah, look at that. Now, I think that may be what's going on with your other pull request. Fixes issues related to the edit page. On get, and you changed it back to an int. Okay. You know what? That looks pretty good. I'm confident in merging that. So let's merge this one. Converted get on edit page. Slug and not ID. Slug is the correct key in this project. Well, we had a discussion about this, and slug is good for the lookup. But when you're editing, we should grab the ID, because we want to make sure that we're locked to that name, regardless of what the slug is. Converted get on edit page to use the article ID. Let's take a look at that. thanks very much for this contribution. All right, let's go back over here. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to merge in that change. What? Ah. And the edit link was built from the ID. All right, hang on. Git merge dev. Already up to date. Was not. That was inside of edit CSHTML CS. And it's going after string ID. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, hang on. Let's pull that. Yeah. So now that's merged properly. Alright. Was it minus and it'll jump me back? Yeah. So now I'll merge dev back. Yeah. Okay. And now we should be able to .NET run and run that. var everything with enforcement of an error. That's how I like it. Actually, I think I made it enforce with an error just because I was demoing it and saying, look, you can make it an error. Yeah. Alright, now we can try reloading this. Reload that. Click edit. There we go. Alright, so I can browse here. Go find some code and upload it. Alright, let's write some code. Let's write something that we can put out there. Test.md. This is a test. Hello from a markdown page. Alright. So now let's browse. Not bad. Not bad. Let's try creating a new article. This is a test. No. Test upload. That's not upload, that's update. There we go. Browse, and I'll go grab desktop, test MD. Not bad. And create. There it is. Looks good. Styling for upload button is not working. Should look into that. Let's take a look at that real quick. See if it's something that we can quickly solve. So that is on, I bet you it's on both edit and create. Let's see, let's scroll down here. Arrays start at 1. Welcome. Great handle there, arrays start at 1. Thank you for the follow. I work in C#, so arrays start at 0 for me. Alright, so here we are. Input type file class button default. Yeah, that should take it. Bootstrap, styling, input type file. Right, that whipping file inputs into shape with Bootstrap. Oh, look at this, look at this. They put a span around it. Let's... When in doubt, go to Stack Overflow. Button default doesn't exist in Bootstrap 4. Alright. So they put a label around it and they made the input type hidden. Interesting. Because it styles the input and not the button, but you can use this trick. Take a normal, put it in an element with position relative. Oh dear lord. Ugh. I just worked on moving identity UI to v4 and I'm using button outline primary. Okay. With CSS and elements to cover input or targeting input with JavaScript. Yeah. Holy crow. Alright, let's do this. Ugh. Ugh. Alright. And make sure we copy this into here. I love just dragging elements in Visual Studio. Alright, so that should fix that one, but there was a little bit of CSS to go with that. And it's this bit right here, so let's copy that. Change button to default to the new class name. Right. So this is including, I think I have a site CSS file in www.root. There we go. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I don't think I'm doing anything with this. Oh, but if I hang on. I see that SCSS and I'm thinking, oh, make sure that that's included properly. Let's make sure. Render section styles, and it's returning site theme min CSS. Site theme CSS. Ugh. That's all I needed to do. And change it to button outline primary? Is that what you're suggesting? Come back in here. Like that. How's that look? That looks weird. That's not quite right. That's not quite where we want to go. Yeah. There is no way to style input file through CSS, right? So I'm gonna need to use this trick. That's what it looks like. So let's go back, and I'm going to redo. Nuts. Nuts. I'm gonna change this back to button default. Make sure I grab this content. Get that lined up. And I'll copy over the on change. And we'll get rid of this. All right. No, one change needs to go on the file. There it is. Now, I thought I had... Okay. So the CSS that goes with it is this. So there should be a render right? There was a render section styles. There it is. So what I'll do is I'll create a styles section. Oh, there already is one. Oh, and it's in editor style. It's like I planned for this. Alright, so I also want to have a style block here. Type equals, and I'm old-fashioned, I know. I like to actually tell it that it's CSS. And I'll just paste in that little bit, and it should work now in add also, or the create page. Right, because that, I believe, includes the same deal. Yeah, it does. Use class custom file and custom file label in Bootstrap 4. Custom file CSS Bootstrap. Let's take a look. Bootstrap 4 file input. No, it's not good. It's documentation. Not 4.1. Oh, dear Lord. I will find you and I will kill you. Custom file input. There we go. Yes, let's do that. Please. Which one do I want? Because there's upload and there's... Oh, that's the label. All right. I think I like the first one. We are using 4.1? All right. This one. All right, let's use the first one. I'll just grab that. And then I can go back to my editor style and remove all that junk. Da, 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 da. All right. And I'm going to need to replace that bit right there. Yeah. That's about right. All right, so I'm going to put the on change back on that. I'm not going to put an ID on this. Oh, I need it for the label. All right, and then I can get rid of that. Copy that, put it back into edit. And place it this, right? Seriously, I've got that Liam Neeson clip here. More code for CSS and styles than for implementation. All right. Let's refresh and see what it looks like now. It's the full length. It still works. That's good. I'd like to not make it the full length. Which I think... I want to drop, which one am I on? I'm on edit. I think I want to drop this. Nope. Nope, wrong one. What is the MB3? I thought that was a border. I think that works. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll grab this submit and I'll just scoot it down and over one, and I think we got it. Cool. And then we will, I'm gonna reset Page's editor style because I ended up not doing anything. What? Okay. Alright, I thought I reset that. Fine. Fixed CSS formatting of file input. Cool. And now I'll reset hard on the rest of it. All right. And we will finish that merge. Wasn't that one? This one. Go back to the command line instructions, and I'm going to grab the last bit of the commands. See, look at this. It. Okay, get merge, no fast forward. Right. Now it should be doing the git push. Sweet. All right. There we go. Thanks for this contribution. Looks great. Close issue 34. Let's see if it closed it. Completed. Thanks for the contributions. All right. More stuff done. I like it. All right. And now, before I go over to the other project, I'm going to refresh the scoreboard. Fetching new data from GitHub. Yay, good. There we go. And let's see, we should see some entries on that this week for Core Wiki. There we go. There we go. Thanks so much, Coderns. You're on the list. You're actually tops of the month so far. And we've only got a few days left, so I think you might hold on to that title for Core Wiki. That's great. Thank you so much. All right. So I wanted to spend some time today working on stream tools because I've gotten into we've gotten the scoreboard up there, and I don't like having to go and hit refresh to make it appear. I want to make sure that it refreshes on its own and it repaints on its own. And ooh, look at that picture of me. And I want to come through and make that automatic so that as you're contributing, we we celebrate your contributions, right? That's what that's all about up there. Is I want to celebrate our community. I want to, show my appreciation by putting your names up there and showing just how much you've helped out. Exactly, Janescu. I want SignalR to help control the marquee. But when I came in and I started looking at Stream Tools this weekend, I got a little surprise. Can you hear the sound effect? I got another pull request from Joe Bun. Check this out. And of course, you don't just leave one thing alone here. I am thrilled and flattered with how far you've gone into this. So the commands, oh, thank you for the compliment on the sound effects. The folks at Nintendo will love me now. If Fierce Kittens is out there listening somewhere, yes, I'm reusing some Nintendo sound effects. So we started with this thing inside of... Oh, John Segarra, thank you for the follow. And Steve, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us, Steve. Steve, I'm glad you welcomed John Segarra, and I hope he isn't intimidated by your sweaty presence and is able to chat with us in the chat room. So our chat bot that runs inside of the Stream Tools that monitors the chat room, we started doing some refactoring to make the commands a little bit easier to develop and extend going forward, because we're doing more than just having commands that you can execute in the chat room, like bang echo or bang uptime, and be able to get those little pieces of information that you want to command the bot to do to come back. I want to make our bot more conversational and have it take advantage of some of the machine learning and artificial intelligence things that are out there. That way, this also gives us, as a group here, an excuse to go and learn some cool things like cognitive services and machine learning. So we started refactoring, and I really like this approach. Let's break this up into two separate... yeah, bang bang command there. Way to go. Way to go, Crypt. Way to go, Crypt Tricks. I got it. I'm trying to figure out which sound effect goes with that. I know which one. No, I didn't really blow it. It wasn't that bad. I made that too quiet. I need to make Mr. I'm blanking on the actor's name. Mr. De Niro's voice a little bit louder. And you blew it! Yeah, I blew it. Alright. So, instead of managing our own little private registry of these commands, why not just use the dependency injection container? That's like a no-duh moment because I wasn't thinking straight about this, so kudos to you. Hey, good morning, Wintermute. So, putting our commands into the dependency injection container in ASP.NET Core just makes sense. And then, look at all this extra work in here, and even optimizing the commands lists. No change, just had some pictures taken of the inside of my head. They found out there is still a brain up in there. I won't actually get the feedback on that until July. American healthcare. Yeah, it's working great. Biggest load of crap. Alright. So we have these. So now we have a collection of basic commands and extended commands. And extended commands are those commands that are going to interpret those things that you key in to the chat room. So I can see here on my console that Azure tried to answer the question, "How are you feeling?" And it says on my console over here, unable to find a suitable answer. How are you feeling? But things like uptime, like Joe Bond is demonstrating there. That's clearly a command that everybody should be able to execute whenever they'd like, with a certain amount of cooldown time built in. So these extended commands that just interpret what you're keying in need to behave a little bit differently. And I really like where you're going with this. And I've already actually done the review of a lot of this source code. There were a couple of changes that you did bring in these last couple of commits here that I missed this morning. So I saw fixing some code, formatting a per command cooldown. I saw that one. Added final flag to extended commands. So if you're not familiar... Oh, this is different. Oh, look at this. Alright. This is a direction I was thinking of going, and I love that you've already jumped right into it, and I want to put a little bit of documentation around that. But this is nice. So the idea, if I'm seeing this properly, here you go. If true, don't run other commands after this one, right? It's going to terminate execution. So there are things like the Azure Q&A that after we decide, yes, we're going to answer your question, don't go and process anything else. This is the only thing that's going to handle that message. And things like our new hyperlink command that I'm building, I want it to continue processing. Go see if there's something else that we need to go and process for a hyperlink that somebody may have pasted here in the chat room. And the goal of this hyperlink command, and I need to put a nice description in there, is that when you hey Justin Horner, good to see you this morning. The idea with this hyperlink command is if somebody keys in a link, paste it into the chat room, we want to inspect it. We want to output, here's the title of that page. Do a little bit of moderation against it and make sure nobody posts anything dirty, right? We want to make sure that we continue to be family friendly here on the stream. We want to be welcoming. We want to make sure that other folks want to come and join us and help us learn, right? Other folks have plenty of other skills and things that they can contribute and bring to the table, you know. I saw Saduki's hanging out there in the chat room, but typically I don't see too many ladies that join us here on the stream. You know, and I'm not asking folks to identify whether they are or not, but just some of the metrics that I've seen, and I'm a little disappointed by that. I hope I'm not intimidating. I hope I'm not, you know. I want to make sure that this is a very welcoming place. So I want to make sure that we continue to be family friendly, and I want to build some of this automated moderation into these features. But the hyperlink thing here, not only do I want to be able to moderate links that people post into the chat room, but I want to capture those that myself and the moderator say, yes, this is a good link that somebody shared, and I want to put that on a page of show notes, if you will, so that after the fact, if somebody says, hey, here's a great link, here's a great piece of documentation to follow up on what we've been discussing, perhaps myself or with a guest here on stream, we can have that link archived for us automatically. Some friends, you've seen Space Shot in the chat room, he's collected some of the links at times, and we've posted his links, link collection with the show, and I think we can automate that. Not that I don't appreciate what Space Shot is doing. I very much do. But I want to make sure that we make that a little bit easier for everybody. So, and sometimes he's told me he feels guilty when he can't make it and he can't help out. Well, that's okay. Let's see if we can make that something easier for everybody to do. The flyer sat way too intimidating. I think Mr. Reggs is thinking back to the 70s, and my Philadelphia Flyers were the Broad Street Bullies, and they were quite intimidating. Folks, other teams would come to Philadelphia, and they would literally get beat up in town. Like the defense on our hockey team were mugging effectively the players on the other team, and there's an infamous video, you can find this on YouTube. In 1976, the Soviet Union's Red Army team, so it was a almost professional team of players from the Soviet Union, were playing all the best teams from the National Hockey League here in the States. And when they came to Philadelphia to play an exhibition game against our Philadelphia Flyers, our team was strong. They hit hard, and it wasn't that European hockey style that the Red Army team liked. And the Soviets literally got up in the middle of the period and left the ice. And there was literally an international incident about to break out because the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team was beating up on this Soviet team. And in North American ice hockey, we play a rough style of hockey. And they weren't fighting, but they were hitting hard. And you can find the video. It's interesting how the Cold War politics literally played out in an ice hockey arena in Philadelphia that afternoon. Hey, Code for Veronica with the No-Op Cat emote. Great to see Sue's represented here on stream. Thanks for joining us, Code for Veronica. I appreciate that. The Eagles fans, they are vicious. Yeah, they can be. I know hockey's big in Denmark. Oh, yes. Yes. And Janescu, yes, the Stanley Cup Finals are, if the rest of the games play out like last night, it is going to be fantastic to watch. The theatrics in Las Vegas before the match, that's what you expect in the entertainment capital of the world. You're going to see theatrics. I mean, come on. Do I work exclusively from home? About 95% of the time I work from home, unless I'm traveling, speaking at an event, or heading back to headquarters in Redmond. And I'm not supposed to be out there in Redmond until... I'm currently not scheduled to go back to Redmond until September. So, learning so much about Azure just watching. I'm not using Azure today. But I will be. We will. So, I love these. That's what the hyperlink command is supposed to do. So, how do you stay focused working from home all the time? So I have an extra bedroom in my house that I've set up as my home office, if you will. And no, well, we're gonna do some more Azure here. It's coming. But this room is really set up, and my family knows that when Dad's in there, he's working. And you know, I've got my stuff here for collaborating and working with folks at the office. I've got. Let's see if I can find it. I've got this little thing. This is an Embrava sync light. See that? So this is a little LED light that I have hooked up to Skype, so that when I'm on a call, it turns red. When I'm not on a call, it turns green. Scott has a similar light that he has set up, so I have this set up, and it's on the end of my desk here. I actually can't see it, but if you open the door and walk in, you can see the light, and my kids know, and I've taught them that I'll have my headphones on, and if this is red, you can't interrupt me. So exactly, I've originally thought about running a really long USB cable and putting it on the other side of my door and having it out there. But that's kind of annoying. They actually make one of these now that is wireless. Let's get rid of that. And I was going to get it, but it's like $100. Yeah, Blinklight wireless. There it was. Come on. A nameplate. Ooh. Take control of your time. Yeah, okay. So the standard, and this has it's a USB with sound now. Ooh. So this might make... Oh, it's only 55. Oh. So my idea is then take one of these and glue it to the outside of my door on the door frame. You know, just mount it out there and then have it project, you know, here's my status. So that's my little status light that I use to help me stay focused and help folks, more importantly, help folks in the house know that I'm on a call. Yep, you can do that with a Raspberry Pi. Free advertising. I should get one for free. Sold. Well, let's let them know. Showing off the no, that's not you. This one. On my stream this morning. It's a great way to tell your coworkers, family, when you're on the phone, to show. All right. Did anybody clip that? Twitch TV C# Fritz. All right. Let's see what they say. Ooh, that picture. I need a logo so I don't just have that picture there. All right. So there you go, the Imbrava blink light. All right, so here's the image descriptor. This is what we worked on with Scott Kate that now I figured out what the problem was with the images. I wasn't setting my Azure keys properly, so it was failing because it couldn't find those. And now you've added this register execute. Yeah. I really like where this is going, and I'm just going to merge this right now, because this is huge. Will be rebased and added to the base. Be combined into one commit in the base. Yeah, squash and merge. Great thinking and stuff that I wanted to get to on stream. You got there first. All right. Thanks for the contribution. Awesome. Maker Blaker, hello. It's always weird when your tweet shows up before you finish typing it on the stream. There's a slight delay. I am running in low latency mode, but it's still taking, you know, an extra second or so to get pushed out there. Same problem, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have had some friends at... I did see that you are starting to use a lot of span and memory in there, and I'm going to get a little concerned. Give it a second there. Tell you what, Marconi, let's ask the bot, and it should tell you what the music is. What music is this? It's not going to let me type it there. Boom. There you go. That's the music playing in the background. And links to go get it. So, yeah, this is Carl Franklin's Music to Code By, and I think it's really great. Carl's graciously allowed us to play it here on stream. Yeah. So, should you split off emojis after the question mark? Maybe. Maybe. I can buy that. So yeah, Marconi, I hope you enjoy the music. I do. So I'm going to do another refresh of the scoreboard by hand, and then we're going to start to get rid of this. Get rid of this refresh by hand. All right. Can you add spaces between parentheses and links so links can be clickable in Twitch chat? I don't know. So here's the thing. The links, that link coming in is actually is formatted like that inside of the wiki. And I think we're going to need to do a little bit of reformatting on links. Where'd it go? Wiki. There we go. It's actually taking this format, and I think we need to chop that and reformat it here because that markdown format isn't handled too well by Twitch chat. So I think we're going to need to write something to format it nicely. Let's take that as an issue. That's a very good point. Is it Sanad? Help me with that pronunciation. Sanad Meskin? Meshkin. There we go. All right, we'll go with that. Let's take that as an issue, Meshkin. And then we need to talk about this. Chatbot links. Did I thought I had something about the formatting. Oh, you know what? We did this. Let's see. That's 24. Related to 24. Yep. All right. Let me come back to that. But I want to create that new issue. Chatbot links need to be formatted. Links posted to the chat room need some formatting help so that they can be clickable. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mark this as... I want to mark this as a... Where is it? I thought there was bug. I thought we had bug. I'm in live stream. Oh, rats. It's not supposed to be over here. Ugh. Delete this. Let's... Hang on. 1 second there. Stream tools, here. Document Twitch settings. Huh? No, I think... No. Let's do that. What was it I was saying about this? Let's format the links posted by Fritzbot so that they are clickable in the Twitch chat room. All right. And I'm going to mark this there. That's better. I'll mark it as a bug. Help wanted. You know what? I'm even going to put up for grabs on it. There we go. So up for grabs is an interesting label that allows folks to find from other locations, right? To to join in and become part of a project. A couple questions here came in. Have I encountered any stability issues over using Visual Studio Preview versus Visual Studio Stable? Wintermute, I have not. The preview version that is made available to the public, you're usually in pretty good shape to use that one. You shouldn't have too much of a problem using that and having it be stable for you. There's an internal preview that I use that's a little bit more unstable that I should find issues before they get to you. So, let's see. Smab says, I was going to do that change ages ago, but I can't set up the environment for Stream Tools until 2.1 releases this week. Exactly, Joe Bun. I actually have... I have inside the project. Let me go back to Stream Tools over here. Here. I've added a NuGet config. That will... Where is it? I thought it was on... Where's that NuGet config? Yeah, go away. I don't see it here. I thought I added a NuGet config in here. I have the early bytes in a VM, but it really hates Docker. But Tinkwe asks, can you recommend a good source or book for learning .NET Core besides Microsoft Docs? What do you want to learn about .NET Core? Is it? It probably is in Core Wiki. Where can I get videos from Jeff? Microsoft Docs are like a book. I do have videos on Microsoft Virtual Academy that will teach you .NET Core 2.0. And I've been asking... I've been asked to update my courses on Wintellect now for ASP.NET Core 2.1. So you should see those rolling out later this week. I did write a book about ASP.NET Core. The problem that you'll find with books is that they can't publish the books fast enough to keep up with ASP.NET. I thought we updated this to the 2.1 release. Here. Yeah. No, we didn't update this one to the final. I thought we did. I guess we didn't. Yeah, it's still on 2.0. Okay. No, it's that Docker doesn't run very well in a Windows VM. Yes. It caused major corruption. I had to roll it back. It's okay locally. Yeah. It's not behaving nicely at all for me. I thought we reloaded that scoreboard. Let's pull this. There we go. The Docker blues. That's one way to put it. Let me go down into Feature Scoreboard and show you where I want to work today. Yep, pull that. I thought... Now let me merge dev. Yeah, look at that. Merge conflicts. Woohoo! Alright, let's take a look-see here. Contributor H scroll. Alright. Don't remember which branch you were on when you added the NuGet config. Yeah, me neither. I want the current change here, because I'm bringing in a collection of GitHub information. Next one. Current change, I'm good on that. For each repository names versus, yeah, I want the current change. Next. Yep, current. And this is, yep. So I'm good on that one. Next, GitHub configuration. Okay. I'm now receiving a repository CSV, and yeah, that's it. I want that. So now I can pass in a collection of repositories to model, to present data about. Yep, I want that one. Repository client logger. Oh no. Yes. So now I've set up a repository object that'll do all my communication and caching management. Books could be good for a Twitch extension to show them. Maybe. Docs MS for ASP.NET Core is 2.1. Yes, they did start rolling that out. The 2.1, yeah, the 2.1 is just about ready. You could try to git graph for the file name. I could try searching for it. Not, but nyout.core, maybe with release, which is tomorrow. It's the initial announcement was that we're going to push it tomorrow. Yeah, the git command that'll go find it. But it's not just the NuGet, right? There's a couple other files that change along with it. TwitchLib, I think it. Oh, look at that. Our friend Shane is tweeting about the stream right now. Thanks, Shane, if you're out there watching. I'm going to receive this GitHub repository. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good on most of these. So, yeah, I'm going to keep my current change on that. And I think that's it. So, git status, yep. Merged. I'm so descriptive. Okay. My branch is ahead of Origin feature scoreboard by 14 commits. Oh dear lord. TwitchLib will get updated tomorrow. Okay. I have other problems with TwitchLib and with how they use async and await. It kind of crushes. It doesn't maintain state properly. And it'll actually hang for us. So now with the way that this is structured, I should be able what's it saying there? Nah, we're in good shape. Alright. I should be able to .NET run this. So let's go down into Stream Tools. Let's .NET Watch run, and I should be able to jump into the GitHub contributors and see it running. And I'm sucking down coffee like there's no tomorrow, let me tell you. Ooh. Lots of yellow. Come on, build. While that's building, I'm going to refresh Twitter over here. Fantastic. What is this? Dev.to, an article from Shane Boyer. Holy crow. Wow. Thank you, Shane. This is a terrific article. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see if that sends some viewers our way. That's terrific. Thank you very much for that write-up, Shane. That's great. All right, I'm gonna run over to this location, and I want to make sure that our GitHub ticker is working before I continue throwing some wrenches on this. And it's not working. Of course, it's not working. Why isn't it working? Because I broke it. Oh, here we go. Like I said, I've got the hood up and I'm throwing wrenches like a mechanic right now trying to get this thing working. So I've refactored how I want to interact with this out into a repository object that knows how to do all the communication with GitHub. I don't want to pass the way that this was originally structured. This GitHub controller knew how to do the interactions and the communication with GitHub, and that feels weird. I don't want my controllers to have that domain knowledge about their repositories that they're interacting with, whether it's a database or it's a service like GitHub. Delegate that somewhere else that has that knowledge. Let's put that knowledge about GitHub somewhere so that my controller can be dumb and just say, I need to know my GitHub stuff. Bring it back to me. So I created this GitHub repository, and this knows how to go and get information about GitHub repositories. High coupling. Yes, exactly. It was tightly coupled to my controllers, and I want to loosely couple that. Let's release that so that when it comes time to test also, I've got it broken up a little bit and becomes a little bit easier for me to work with. So I need to register my GitHub repository with the dependency injection container here, which is hiding under startup services over here. And there's my GitHub client. So let's add a, I'm going to make it scoped. Now this is weird. Yeah, okay, that's fine, that's fine. All right. I'm going to add scoped GitHub repository. There we go. So now with that save, this should restart. Pattern design, absolutely. I spent the day decoupling 3 services I wrote ages ago and switching to using dependency injection. Cool. All right. How'd that work for you, Smab? So now if I refresh this, I still don't get anything. What did I break now? Let's see what else it's saying here. Unhandled exception has occurred. Unable to resolve service for GitHub configuration while trying to activate GitHub repository. Now, GitHub configuration is over here. I thought... There it is. It's right there. Worked well. The code is live now. Terrific. Glad to hear it. That should be available now. Let me think. Do you import it as an options of T? Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, go away for right now. It's not receiving it as an I options of T. Nuts. Alright. Oops, wrong button. So now I want to say config dot. Oh, come here, you. Generate my using statement. Now I can control dot and get the value. Get the actual thing there. Alright. So now we're going to restart. Hopefully it works this time. It's weird. You have to receive this as an I options. Even though you registered it as the strong configuration type. Come on. There we go. .NET Watch for the win, let me tell you. So now I've got it loading. Okay, that's weird that Stream Tools has no contributors this week, even though we merged in the changes from Jobun here. Merged. So why isn't it showing up there? You know? That's weird. I don't... Right, let's take a look at that query real quick. Just because that feels strange why it wouldn't show that information. So top for the week. Weeks last. Hang on. Contributor. What? Total contributors. Weekly hash. So did it not recalculate that? Yeah, OBS is doing a ton of other things. Right, and you can see every now and again it's running fine, and then all of a sudden... And I have a feeling it's my browser over here. If I get rid of that... Now look at it running so much smoother. Look at that. Anyways. So top week contributors. Oh, so this is... Hang on. So this was some code that we merged here. And I'm looking at get contributors right there. Client repository get contributors. So that's a read-only list of contributors. Music sounds very vaporware. All right. If I look at, I don't. Okay, author. Yeah, now I'm up at the author information. It feels weird that weeks isn't right. That the client repository statistics. See the statistics API documentation for more details. Can you command B? Command B. Now the code's literally in my head. If I gotta be careful, it'll be hiding behind me. I'm trying to figure out why we're dropping information. Right? I mean, I just merged some stuff there, and it's not showing. Right, this was merged. I mean, does it just not... How frequently does it update the contributor information? Look at that, it didn't even include... This doesn't include today either. Yeah, it's gotta be. If we had 4 space tabs, it would clear your head. Way to go. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. Is it possible that repository ID is wrong? No, we're good. I'm going to have to full fun remotely debugging this service. UK to US, different domains. Ooh. A little bit. We do want your points, Jobone. Trying to get my practices right before I get too far. Scroll animation is so much smoother. Going to have to find... is it possible? My merge was in another branch. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's going after the repository and getting the contributors. It's... Right? The contributors here, it's not filtering by one branch or another. Right? It doesn't see it at all here. Right? This was merged into dev. Into feature HTTP capture. I'm still okay with that. We're not dealing with this just yet, and that's... We'll get down there, but... I mean, there's 500 lines of code that you should be credited with merging in here. Alright. I'm sure they'll pop up before Thursday. So, it's a net 5. Oh, are you talking about... Yeah. Net of 5 new lines, but 500 lines changed. Music marquee needed. I don't know. Ooh, a word about caching. What is that? A word about caching. GitHub statistics. That's not how you spell statistics. A word about caching. Blah 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 blah. If the data hasn't been cached, you'll receive a 202. A background job is also fired to start compiling these statistics. Give the job a few moments to complete and then submit the request again. If the job has completed, that request will receive a 200 with the statistics in the response body. Repository statistics are cached by the SHA of the repository's default branch, which is usually master. Pushing to the default branch resets the statistics cache. Well, there you go. So check the caching link. Yeah. So the way for me to force that would be to merge into the dev branch to merge up those changes. And I don't think I want to merge those just yet. Right? I just have to merge something into the dev branch. I just have to merge something into the dev branch to have it recalculate. Let's go into README. If I commit just a space, that's going to look stupid. No. I could do it just to... Let's do it just to prove it. Forcing a stats recalculation. Just to prove that this works. Okay, so that was forced into the dev branch. So if I go over here and refresh. Let's see if it recalculated. Nope. Nope. Not yet. Relapoli? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you in the chat room, and Steve, you're getting a little tired over there, aren't you? All right. Before I go too much further here, let's get the let's start getting SignalR wired up here. So I have my repository out here. I didn't make any changes to this. Don't save. Right, the only change that I made was the eye options. We're good there. All right. So inside this page, I want to be able to have a little bit of code to go and update the content. It's the web. It's not supposed to work. All right, fine. But I'm going to end up having to rebuild some of these. It's going to take a little bit of work. Making now playing widget would be a nice idea. Absolutely. I agree. But I'm going to have to use Spotify to get the connection between my Stream Deck working. I'm there with you. I'm going to have to shift to using Spotify. I have a Spotify license. I'm a Spotify subscriber. But I'm going to need to do that in order to have it continue to work with my Stream Deck.
It can be done exactly how I want it.
Oh, good. Oh.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
No, I think Janescu is the man who's going to do it, not me. Walter White. Talk to Janescu. He's going to take care of that. All right. So I'm going to start dialing in SignalR here so we can go get this. Now, I made a promise. I started looking at, well, how can I get this in there? It means that I'm going to need a hub to connect out and interact with this. And I started wiring up a GitHub service in here, and this feels like it's polluting things to have both follower information and GitHub interaction in this one hub. So I put a question out on on Twitter, asking, what should I name this? And I'm going to stick by my word, what I promised out here. I made a promise to a friend. And I'm going to stick by this so that when she joins us in a few weeks here, to work on some more SignalR stuff, we'll. Are you kidding? We'll have a good time laughing at this. I still like Scoreboard Hub. That's a great name for it. But our friend Rachel says we need to name it GitHubby McGithub Face. So Rachel, if you're out there watching, and yes, please, somebody clip this. I'm going to name my class. I'm assuming it shouldn't be Gut Hubby, but GitHubby, like that, like Rusty is suggesting here. I'm going to name our hub GitHubby McGithub Face. Oh yes. There it is. Rachel. Rachel. It's now been named. Check in at all right. I'm a man of my word. What can I tell you? So we need a hub that's going to do this interaction, this connection. I'm going to steal a lot of the code that's over here because that's what I do. I steal. We'll copy that. Paste that in to get things started. We'll end the class. We'll end the namespace. And this needs to have the same name. GitHubby Mick GitHub face. Get our using statements here. I don't need the stream service in this one. I don't need the follower client. I just need my GitHub service that will do the interaction, that'll check and follow up on, as a background service, monitor for changes. So I don't need this. The follower client, I'm going to want to, listen to me, I'm going to want to use some of those capabilities that are over there. Yep, and we're going to want to copy this, make sure my constructor has the same name, and let's generate that method. Alright. Should follower hub, as it contains viewers, be streamy hub? We're too far in to rename that. I like where you're going! No, not gonna do that. Alright, so I'm gonna remove this one. I'm going to remove that one. We'll remove this one. That one. And I love this approach that we built with this on-connected async to add to groups so that we have a group that we know we can talk to. Follow watch hub. To be fair, our friend, and actually copying this into a shared hub class, that feels bad too. Let's create a new file here. Let's call this base hub. Oh, I need the namespace and all that jazz. Let's do that. This. And I'm going to make this an abstract class called base hub. And we'll need that. And I am going to copy the on-connected async. Put that into base hub so that both get this same feature. There we go. Get our system link. Good enough. And then I can change follower hub to inherit from base hub. And I just get that feature. Cool. That was easy. Now at some point I'm going to want to use this client capability. You're writing the documentation for future generations to apologize for the naming. No. We'll refactor that later. Our friend and lead developer on SignalR, David Fowler, frankly said you should only have one hub in your application. There's no need to ever have more than one. I'm doing this to be spiteful towards Rachel. We'll have fun with that. So named because at Rachel Appel said so. Whoa. Alright. If the followers and viewers have combined hub, then it might be follow watch, like viewers watch or so. Yeah, spite is always a good reason to write code. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Be spiteful. Or don't. Alright. So I've got that. I've got a little bit of code there in GitHubby McGithubface. And so when there's an update on the service, we're going to trigger this, and this is where we're going to go out and say, okay, actually go and notify all of our attached clients. So I'm going to get rid of this method in the old follower hub over here. And that works. Now I need to also make sure that GitHubby McGithubface is registered as a hub. It's in with the stuff down here. I just did an F12 to jump to add ASP.NET features. Does it just know and find it? I guess so. I thought I had to tell it where to find it. No results? Alright. Hey. I guess that works. Back in the follower hub, I thought there was... whatever. Add hub. So from other hubs need to implement base hub then? Yes. If the followers and viewers... Alright. It could be Stream Hub. That's what I'm going to end up consolidating down to. Is there... did I have an add hub? Oh, that's over in Startup CS. Startup CS. Map Hub. There it is. Configure Map Hub. GitHubby McGithub. That is going to kill me every time that I see it there. Can I make it that? Can I make it that? I don't even think Rachel has seen this. Let's see. Let's see if she responded on Twitter. Oh, look, and Brava loves that I'm showing off the blink light. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Pac-Man Jr., good to see you. No, I'm going to name this something that just makes sense. I will name it GitHub, even though we're using the funny GitHubby McGithubface name. So you don't have to, right? The point that I'm trying to make here by indulging Ms. Appel is that you don't have to follow the convention of naming your ASP, your SignalR class something hub. Right? It'll just work. Alright, so now when Git is updated, I want to trigger some sort of a client that's going to go and notify everything. Did I do something down here in configure services? I did. I removed that commented out thing. Alright, so now let me find my GitHub service that I had started. I think I put it, yep, into services, GitHub service. So now this is a class that takes advantage of the ASP.NET Core 2.0 I-hosted service feature. And what this should do is start up and run in the background. And what I've set it to do is to monitor updates on the GitHub repository. So once a second, it's going to get the last commit timestamp from all of the repositories. And if that last update timestamp is more recent than the last time that we saw an update, something that actually changed, continue. You know, get back to me later. Otherwise, let's go get the recent contributors and notify the event that, hey, there was an update out here. You need to go and do your update. So very simple here, but I need to register my GitHub service so that it'll start in the background. Now, down here in Configure Services, here we're adding those as a singleton for Twitch and Mixer and those other services we're trying to connect to. For this, though, I'm going to add it as a block here as part of my GitHub capabilities. So I want to add singleton, and I need to either give it a new or an implementation instance. I want to tell it just use this one and let it build it up on its own. Yeah, there it is. So I think I can just say GitHub service. And I think I'm going to need to get a instance of it to re-register as an I-hosted service. Does GitHub have an API limit? Yes. Seems like they would want you to use webhooks. The challenge, and excellent point, Pac-Man Jr. Excellent point. The challenge with using webhooks means that my website needs to be accessible to the outside web, to the public web, so that GitHub can call it and send that notification. So yes, when this is published to the public, I would turn that GitHub service around and make it effectively do nothing. You know, listen for the webhook to be, not even listen for the webhook. I would remove that and put a webhook listener in here and let that trigger the client and have it function that way. But because I'm running inside of a Docker container on a private machine, I don't have access to that. Now, their API limit is basically, I think it's 5 requests per second, and I'm only requesting once per minute, and it's the last update information that I'm requesting. So, GitHub client from HTTP factory. So I'm using the OctoKit, which shouldn't have a problem with the HTTP client. While yes, it is using that, I'm not concerned. And there goes the last of the coffee. Fortunately, I've got some water. All right. So next step. Fruit fly. Nice. I am good at once a minute. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So I need to get the service and register it and create it. So let's rebuild it here. And well, I'm already building it right in. I feel like I'm rebuilding it lots of times here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to extract this into a register. Yeah. Let's call this register. No. Register GitHub services. There we go. All right. So I've added it. But then I need to re-register it also as a... but I can't. let's move that down here. And let's, yeah, let's say that equals provider, get service, GitHub service, yeah. Alright, so now I've got the instance, and now I can re-register it. Services, add, scoped, I hosted service, SVC. And that feels like a weird dance. Yeah. Oh, I have to do as I hosted service. Alright. There we go. Now, why doesn't it like that? Cannot convert from What? Fine. We'll get rid of the typing then. Oh, it shouldn't be scoped. Singleton. That's better. Good. And actually, if I don't need that, don't do it. Been hunting around the NuGet config for 2.1 is on CoreWiki dev branch. Ah, okay. Oh, enjoy your dinner, Joe Bun. Catch you next time. I'll be here on Thursday. Ignore that for right now. We'll figure out what that error is in a bit. But that should be... No, we're fine there. What happened? Nothing. Good. Alright. What doesn't it like? Unable to resolve service for type lazy cache app cache while attempting to activate GitHub repository. Oh, because it's down there. Fine. We'll move it. Try it again. And then I'm on to the next piece, which is actually doing the update of that HTML. And more errors. What is it this time? Stream tools, models, GitHub configuration. While attempting to activate GitHub service. Because I bet you I did the same thing where I'm not receiving, yep, options. Right, so I need to receive an options because that's how configuration is done in ASP.NET Core. And now I've got the value. All right. Tell me I'm wrong this time, .NET. There we go. All right. So now I have a GitHub service that's running in the background that's going to ping once a minute and try and get data. Now here's the other thing that's going on. Inside of GitHub repository, if we look at this, when it goes and gets the recent contributors, I set it the absolute expiration to 45 seconds. So if for some reason there's an update, it'll still get the recent contributors, but otherwise it'll time out, right? Otherwise it'll give me what's in the cache. So that should be a little bit easier on the old API there. All right. What else? I think I'm just about at the point where I'm ready to signal that we've got some data to load and reload. Now that was originally done. Hey, cheeky dude, thank you for the follow. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Steve, thanks for welcoming cheeky dude. I appreciate that, Steve. Glad to see you found another career, Steve. Now that the Clippers aren't doing anything. They didn't make the finals again. And your friends at Golden State are mopping you up here, Steve. So in the follower... excuse me. I wrote this follower client class that receives the follower hub context, right? So this is the context of those people that are connected to the follower hub. And I'm able to say, well, go find that group, and here's the magic string of folks that you want to connect to and send that information to. So let's do something similar here. And let's create a GitHub client right next to this. Okay. GitHub client, not GitHubby McGitHub face. And I'll use some of the same structure here to get things started. Let's go all the way down through update followers. No. I knew I had something built here already for this. Copy that. We'll do the exact same thing up here, except we will call this now GitHub client. Ah, rats. That was a Control C the second time. GitHubby McGithub face. Yes, using SignalR. How'd you guess? Oh, yes. I'm doing this for you, Rachel. I hope you appreciate this. Oh, yes. Because why not? There we go. And now I can get rid of these. All right. So we will call update GitHub. Yeah, we're good on this. We're going to pass out. Here's our new contributor information. Cool. So this magic text here, Mac Stream Hub. Ooh. I like it. Bob the Spiffy. Welcome, Bob the Spiffy. Great to see you. Thanks for following. Alright, so this should be fully qualified. Services, GitHub client. Yeah. We're gonna need that. Oh no! Ooh, wrong one. This should be OctoKit, GitHub client. That's better. Alright. So from the service, right, so this is raising that updated event, which GitHubby McGithub face will receive. Now, the follower hub also receives the client, so we need the client in there as well. So let's go back into GitHubby McGithub face. GitHub client. This dot client. No. Ooh. There's a client's attribute on this. This dot GitHub client equals client. So I'm going to stash a copy of this so that down here, when it's updated, we can say this dot GitHub client dot update GitHub, and we need to pass it the list of contributors. Well, I'm actually capturing that list of contributors right here on our GitHub updated event marks. So now I've got that, and I'm passing that update back, so now I know. Now I'm actually calling, I'm attempting to call this JavaScript method that should exist inside of my HTML page, which is actually being built and maintained by that controller's view here. GitHub. What don't you like? Ooh, that's a big stack trace. Failed to bind to address. Address already in use. Okay. Try again. There it goes. Alright, so down in here, configure contributor H scroll. So here's now where I need to have that method to be listening on the stream. Oh, what did you do? Unable to start Kestrel. 5000 is already in use. I'm going to break you.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
I do. I have those skills. Alright. So now I'm going to receive... I want to listen on our GitHubby McGitHub face hub. And when I get a client update command, I want to be able to trigger and run something here, like repopulate the marquee with the new information.
You thought that was actually me for a minute. My Irish accent isn't that good. But I have a certain set of skills. Skills that I've learned over a long time.
Alright. The president not sure thinks that the Liam Neeson clip was actually me. And does anybody else think that I'm actually
that good? It's just the right whisper.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but I have...
Maybe it's because the volume of the clip is low. Alright, well, I'll go fix that.
I've actually pumped it up a lot. Let's see here.
But what I do have
Oh, do you?
are a very particular set of skills.
Really?
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
And a very nice Irish accent.
Anyways. What I do have...
High coupling.
No. I've put out there 2 new emotes. If you want to contribute, and of course all of your contributions are going over to our friends at Girl Develop It. And Saturday, I think we're going to be able to make our donation. If you want to choose one of the new... there are higher levels of subscription, and there are 2 new emotes that you can get in the chat room. There they are. So I have a ball cap and the C# Superman logo at the highest level. You don't need to do that, but I want to make sure that you have something if you do want to contribute. So I made those available, but I was also thinking that I could do some reading for you. Could do some voice recording if there's something that you do want to subscribe at the highest level, and maybe I'll read something that's the size of a tweet for you, and you can have it recorded, used somewhere. I don't know. I got to figure out what those higher level benefits are,
but I think it's something we can work on.
All right. So where was I? I want to put the SignalR client in here. And I'm doing it right now in the followers bit. Right, so the count is probably the simplest one where it is. So I have SignalR client and Stream Hub hanging out here to make this a little bit easier to manage, so that I can just say, hey, create a new Stream Hub. This fruit fly, I brought bananas in the house and the fruit flies came with it. It's bugging me. Let's see here. So if I use this, I should be able to Yeah, I should be able to reuse this logic very easily, right? So Stream Hub is coming out of www.root.js, Stream Hub.js. Oh, this is actually being wired right up to follower stream. And since we're going to GitHubby McGitHub face, we may need to change that. Yeah, and it's got a couple other things going on in here to do the other deals here. See, if I only had one hub, I'd be able to get away with this, and it would be fine. Oh, I gotta stop. I gotta stop listening. Give me somebody else's. Give me somebody else's lines. Okay, I blew it. There we go. Alright. You know what? We are at time. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check in my code. Well, this says it's running. Let's make sure that this is still running over here. Need to make GitHub face.js. Yes. Yes! That's the next step, but I think we're going to stop there today because we're just about out of time. So let's stop that and let's go check in our code. There we go. I'm under so much pressure. Git add hubs. I'm going to get this done before that song ends. I want to add services. Cool. We're going to get this done. Yes, we're almost out of time. Completed server side interactions. Need client side. All right. And there we go. We're all checked in, pushed up, and we're updated. Cool. That was easy. Cool. All right. So wrapping up today, we've got all the server-side interactions built in now so that we can do the server-side propagation of information about when folks do make updates and our GitHub repository should recalculate and update the bar up at the top. I do agree with Pac-Man Jr. that we should receive this as a webhook, and in the future that'll make more sense for us to do that. But because we'll be running out on a public website. So wrapping up, those things are in place. Thursday we should be back, and I've just missed connecting with Michaela Hutchinson to have her on as a guest and do some work with us in Visual Studio for Mac, and I'm trying to reconfirm for Thursday and see if we can get her on. If she's available, that'll be great. But if not, we'll try to have her back another time. We can go through and we can build a little bit of this then, perhaps, with her. I'm going to try. So Friday we're in June. May is for Macs will be over, and we're going to go back over to Windows. We'll be running on Windows at that point, doing some other Windowsy things. And I'm going to try on Friday to start F# Fridays. Yeah. And I think I want to do at least the first one by myself before I start bringing in some guests. And we'll see how that goes. If I'm able to make that happen, I have to make sure that my schedule's clear on Friday. If not, I'll be able to clear next week's. But we'll see if we can start F# Fridays this week. But I have a list of guests coming up next week. next week on Tuesday, my friend Amanda Lang is going to join us, and we're actually going to do some Unity programming. We're going to build a pinball machine on stream with C#. That'll be a lot of fun. I have a tutorial that was passed on to me that we're going to walk through, and we're actually going to build a game. I haven't written anything with the Unity framework using C#, so I think that'll be a lot of fun, building a pinball machine. I have some other guests lined up that I'm trying to confirm and get scheduled here. Our friend Isaac Levine, who's been in the chat room a number of times, he's going to join us, and we're going to walk through getting event reporting and logging wired up to Stream Tools and using Azure Application Insights to publish that information. That'll be a lot of fun walking through with Isaac. I know he's looking forward to sharing some of that with you. And we're also going to have, I've got a couple other guests that are lined up that I don't want to mention just yet because I want to make sure I get them confirmed first. All right. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been a lot of fun today. Of course, I will archive off this video. It'll be available for you on YouTube a little bit later. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you on Thursday. Take care.